questions? Bobby.
How's it going, Luka?
How we doing?
A lot of talk going into the season, you guys being around the gym in the off season to learn, what you guys want to do this year and maybe changing play styles a little bit. How much have you learned about what the overall style of this team is going to be this year in terms of pace or whatever that might be?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously wasn't here before, so all I know is kind of what we've been putting in now and the structure we've been kind of working on, and I think a lot of it has to do with just playing at a high and fast pace and getting up and down the court, which definitely as a player I enjoy, and just kind of always been where I feel like I'm the best is being able to push the pace, run the court, whatever it has to be, set early screens, get guys open. So yeah.
I have kind of a couple, Christian, if that's okay. Hi, Luka. Welcome.
How you doing? Thank you.
You guys have been super active in the short amount of time that you've been here. What has it been like to represent the Celtics organization around Boston, from going to the Patriots game and all of the community events that you guys have done already?
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, I think it's just a different feel when you're able to put, this kind of jersey on and just, be able to be a Boston Celtic. Just as a basketball fan my whole life and growing up, I feel like I'm learning now what it means, but I think I've always kind of known what it meant to play for, a franchise like this and the winning that has happened here, and the responsibility you have with this platform to represent yourself and, have a good image and, try to inspire and positively impact anybody you encounter.
Is that okay? How do you view the opportunity in the front court? Because there's so many changes there from a season ago, and I know you mentioned you weren't here, but how are you approaching that, and what opportunity do you see there?
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible opportunity for me, especially at this stage of my career. And obviously, the last couple of years, I've been on some teams with some with incredible depth, especially in the big man position. So to be here, just feel like there's a real chance for me, real opportunity, real runway to go out there and show what I can do. And so I'm excited for it. That was the main part of the draw. Obviously, being able to do that as a Boston Celtic is pretty awesome as well. So I'm just really excited here, and I feel ready for the opportunity based on the work I've done my whole life, but especially since being in the league and the guys I've learned from, and yeah.
Luka, I know you guys haven't started practice just yet, but since you've gotten here, what has it been like, talking to Jalen or Derek or some of the leaders who have been in Boston for a while, or even the coaching staff, and what have those conversations been like with those guys helping you get acclimated here?
Yeah, I mean, those guys are obviously, tremendous, people, first off. And so just helping me feel settled here, feel comfortable. And, I think from both sides, I wanted to, kind of learn and understand, what they like on the court in terms of, just their tendencies and stuff like that, how I can help them. And, I think it was kind of likewise in terms of feeling each other out. And I think that's what's been great about the, last few weeks and being here and just being able to, get up and down a little bit, play and kind of, get those initial, the initial ability to kind of just feel, what this guy wants, and for them, and my guy who's going to pop more, roll more, whatever it is, and just kind of understanding what my kind of balance is going into the game. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of competition, which, any, true competitor loves. So it's been great.
This summer, you spoke about having the blueprint from seeing guys like Nas and Nikhil go from a similar position to you to their status in the league now. What specifically did you see from them that you're applying?
Yeah, I think they were just ready for their moment, and they were just so had an unwavering confidence. And even when they weren't getting an opportunity, they stayed ready. And when that time came, they made it and proved it over and over again until no one can kind of put them back in that position that they were. Obviously, I'd been in Minnesota when Nas was getting DNPs to obviously where he's at now, and that'll never happen to him again. And the same thing with Nikhil, coming from Utah, and kind of didn't know where his career was going to end up after that. And we had some injuries in that, and we made a run in the playoffs, and he was a huge part of that. And especially that first year there, he was starting and showing what he can do. And obviously everyone saw the contract he signed this summer, and I being able to see him for those 3 years and the work that he put in every single day is no surprise. And so it's definitely awesome to have examples like that to look towards and to have been around and know that I can do the same.
Yeah. Hi, Luka. Watching you from your college career and now as an NBA player, what's been the biggest adjustment? I observing you, you're a tremendous teammate. Is it confidence now? Is it adapting to physicality? And because your game was so unique in college, is it a sense of finding your identity as an NBA player?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first couple of years in the league as well was just kind of finding what my role could be. How I fit in, and I think especially early on for me, I think confidence was something I struggled with a little bit. Just being able to be, realizing that every guy was the best player in their college team. And you got to be able to be yourself out there and not just try to fit in. And so I think I was able to learn that, especially in my years in Minnesota, and make sure that anytime I'm on the court that, I'm going to be, authentically myself and who I am as a player. But I think, I've been through a lot of changes in terms of my body. Obviously in college I was 275 pounds, and, I got all the way down to 238 and, kind of just a reshift. And now I'm a little bit, I think I built it right in a good frame and being around 250. So I feel really, really good with where I'm at and how I'm moving. And I think in my 4 years in the NBA, I've been able to find what my game is and how I can impact winning at this level. Yeah, absolutely.